home.
Come on in.
Come on in.
We bought this particular house. We viewed three, one in East Street and two in the High Street, but we felt this one had the most potential and had a lot going for it. It was very quirky and really interesting.
Do you know any of the history about the house? Because it obviously dates back to well before Georgian times, doesn't it?
We haven't got an exact date, but it dates back between 1720 and 1750. Originally it had a thatch roof on it and it was used as a farm labourer's cottage. There was a lot of work to be done. We knew my first estimate was around about 5 years. It actually turned out to be 8 years, so it was another 3 years on top. And the budget obviously went through the roof as well. I was only working weekends on it, which prolonged the time period. But yeah, it was enjoyable. Biggest problems we had, I think, it was doing the individual rooms one at a time. We could only live in, we did the living room first, so we could only live in the living room to start with. All the carpets came up, all the floor coverings, so it was a bare shell a lot of the time, and it was about 4 or 5 years before we actually started putting the shell back together again and getting some furnishings in. In the living room there was quite a lot to do. We had to expose the brickwork on the inglenook fireplace. We had to take the plasterboard down, the existing plasterboard, to sturdy up the floor joist in the room above, so we bolted new timbers next to the existing ones. We took out the porch, the electrics was put into a cabinet, and we put some wall panelling around, new floor, new radiators and a general decoration. New fire as well. We put a new wood burner in, that went in. The flooring come from France, all sustainable. I worked out a budget to start with for each room. That quickly got exceeded. Yeah, by I would say about another 50%.
Room. This living room.
This living room took 6 months. Bearing in mind again, it was weekends only. I think the longest part of the job was cleaning the old plaster off the brickwork to get back to the fair face brickwork.
And what about the beams? Were they all exposed then or not?
No, the beams were clad in ply, most probably done in the 1960s, 70s when they wanted cleaner lines. The same with the plastering on the fireplace.
Did you have any surprises when you took it all off?
There was a few electrical surprises. There was wiring down everywhere, so an electrician came in, tidied all that up, and he put a new distribution board in for us as well. This room here, the wine cellar, this most probably had the most work to be done in it, along with the kitchen and the bathroom. When we first moved in, there was unboarded ceilings, there was white breeze block walls, the archway was all filled in, and so it was trying to open up the area. There was a dividing wall in between, so that we had a place where we could sit, enjoy a drink. We've got the original floor in here, and one of the most exciting finds was the archway in the corner. We managed to find that behind the breeze blocks, opened it all out, and it's a nice feature there for the wine rack.
And you got a bar that is stocked almost better than the pub opposite you.
We've got most drinks in here. We've got wine, champagne, gin, whiskey, you name it. I think we've got it. We're very fortunate. We live next door to a Fareham wine cellar. Roy's next door. So anytime we run out, we can nip in and stock up again. I've staggered up the steps with Deb keeping a close eye behind me on many occasions. Yes.
Which is the favourite bedroom?
It would definitely be this one that we're in now, the Marilyn bedroom. Yeah, this is lovely. I love the shape of it. It's very quirky and unusual. And I've got lots of room, and I can really show off all the Marilyn bits. If you look around the room, I've got Marilyn everywhere. And it's a nice size room to show all her things off in.
Your job in the restoration was to dress and design all the rooms.
Yeah.
So we're in the main bedroom at the moment. So tell me about this one. What did you want in this room?
Right, I wanted it a feminine feel, because I feel a bedroom is a feminine place, and I've always loved Marilyn Monroe, and that's the theme I wanted. I've got in my head, I think rooms should have themes rather than just, you know, I like it to have a theme, and this one suited to me to be Marilyn Monroe, and this is what I went for. And then we've got this scarf, which I managed to get with Marilyn on it. Beautiful silk scarf.
Okay.
This is an unusual picture of Marilyn. It's a little bit Andy Warhol, that's it. It's that kind of design, but I still think it's unique. It's very unusual.
Okay.
You either love it or hate it. And here we have Marilyn handbag and a vanity case. When I bought this screen, her lips weren't red like that, and I've added my own little ideas. I've put some jewellery on her ears for earrings and her necklace, and that's red nail varnish which I painted on to make her lips show up, so that it looked more stunning. they're just my added little things, and the earring on her ear there. And the lips definitely work because it was a bit bland before. And Marilyn always had red lipstick mostly. Right, so it was a plain mannequin.
Yeah.
And I again done her lips in a red nail varnish, matte one, this one. I put those famous glasses on her, and that's another Marilyn scarf which I've wrapped round, and a blingy brooch, and I've just made it look glam. And then at night time, when I come up here, I've got little, and it's just lovely at night because it lights up. And it's just a nice little feature. Yeah, makes it cosy.
So this is your walk-in closet?
Yeah, this is my dressing room, and the theme is the different countries which my children have brought into our family. My daughter married a man whose parents are from Bangladesh, so I've got a beautiful grandson called Rio who's mixed race, and he's got Bangladeshi in him, so that's why I've got the picture of Bangladesh and India. And then I've got a beautiful Thai granddaughter called Abigail, and my other son married a Thai girl, so hence why I've got Thailand. And the lucky cats are very, very common in Thailand. They've got them everywhere. And if you look, elephants, they're Indian elephants. Everything in this room's themed around those two countries. Attic room, which is in the roof, and this is my room. Everything you see in here is unique to me from my childhood and things that bring back memories to me.
And when you bought the house,
yeah,
did you visualise this room as Deb's room?
Yes, I thought it could. I love rooms up in attic. Sometimes I come up here on my own in the day in the winter and just reminisce a bit.
And what about the picture at the centre there?
Right, that was when I first met Steve and we got together. I just got with him then. That would have been about 84, 86, something like that.
Great hairdo, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm talking about his.
It reminds me of the advert 118, 118.
So what would you say is your most special favourite item in this room?
Okay, it's hard because everything in here means and is special to me, but I would say Mr. Pan Lanchen is probably the most with the most memories, because he was in a 1960 film where he came alive. He was a ventriloquist dummy, came alive, and it's vivid in my head because my dad let me watch the film, and I probably shouldn't have watched it because I was young, but I had a very vivid imagination then. And Steve actually managed to get me the original puppet from eBay, and he bid on it for me, and that was a lovely surprise one Christmas because I didn't think I'd ever get it. So that brought back he probably is definitely the most special thing in here. I know he's not everybody's cup of tea, and it's a bit of a strange thing to like, but again, it's my childhood. The kids were frightened of it at first, the grandkids, but they quite like it now.
Yeah, and he talks.
Yeah, he talks. Hello, Bob.
Hello.
How are you?
Terrible.
I thought that when I saw you trying to get in the attic. Don't be rude now, because that's rude, okay?
Oh, does he get rude?
Oh, yeah.
Does he?
Does. Yeah.
Like
very.
what?
Wow. I wouldn't like to say, really. He's gone a bit shy now, haven't you? Yes.
Do you sit up here on your own and have conversations with him?
No. No, I'm not that bad, but yeah, I would do. If I'm worried, I'd come and tell him my troubles, don't I? And then we get the voodoo man on going then.
What voodoo man?
Right, I'm going to put you back now, okay? Say goodbye to Bob. Bye, Bob.
Bye.
Put you back now. There you go.
I saw where you had your hand.
Yeah.
No wonder he looks a bit worried.
Right, this is the voodoo. This is the voodoo doll.
Oh yeah.
And again, when I was young, I used to watch a lot of films with voodoo. I like the African type ones as well, but this is just a little cute one because I didn't want to scare the grandchildren. But I don't ever wish anyone any harm. But when things get me down and people are being unkind, I do stick a pin in them and pretend they're that person, and I want something, no, not bad to happen to them, but I think that they should be aware that they're not being very nice, because I believe that you should treat people how you want to be treated. I've always said that to the children, and my saying is be kind, always. I've got I'll show you when I go down, I've got a sign that says be kind, because I do believe you should be kind to people. And when people are unkind to me and cause me unhappiness, I will stick a pin in them and imagine that they're them, because I want them to be punished in a small way to make them realise that it's not nice and not good to be cruel.
Do you hammer the pins in?
No.
You just gently
Stick
put the pin in.
Yeah, and he's also got a little cone in there which you burn, and then the fire comes out of his eyes and his shoulders, and that's getting rid of the bad out of that person. When I do it, the bad should come out of that person and hopefully make them a better person. But it's something that I believe in. I know a lot of people think it was a load of rubbish, but it gives me comfort to believe it.
I think I better end on that.
Yeah, I think you better.